A great variety of plants and animals are found on the earth. Some are unicellular and some other are multicellular. Unicellular means which is made up of single cell, and multicellular means which is made up of many cells. Some are terrestrial and others are aquatic. Terrestrial means which lives on land, and aquatic means which lives in water. Pine and deodar trees are adapted to grow in snowy regions like Kashmir. Plants like cactus and acacia are adapted to grow in deserts like Rajasthan. Camel, a desert animal, is not found in Kashmir. Why do some organisms grow well in a particular region, but why can't they grow at all in a different region? So, adaptation. So, you are going to study a new term, adaptation. It is a special feature that helps the plants and animals to survive in a particular region. Gradual changes occur in the body parts and also in the behavior of organisms which help to adjust to the surroundings. Such changes are called adaptation. They take place over a long period of time. So, gradually the changes occur in the body parts as well as in the behavior of organisms. Plants can be categorized based on the habitat they are adapted to. So, types of plants. So, there are terrestrial plants and aquatic plants. Terrestrial plants means the plants that grows on land. Aquatic plants are plants that grow in water. So, here we will study the adaptations in aquatic plants. So, first we will take fixed plants. Example, lotus. They are firmly rooted in the soil at the bottom of the water bodies. That means the roots are anchored in the soil. Stems are submerged while leaves and flowers float on the water. Leaves and stems are covered with a waxy layer, so water trickle off lotus leaves and leaves won't rot. So that is an advantages of this waxy layer. There is sufficient water in its surrounding, so has short roots. Fibrous roots enable it to float as it requires less support from the soil. So, short roots and fibrous roots are the adaptations seen in aquatic plants like lotus. So, next is free flowing plants. Example, water hyacinth. It is shown in the picture. The roots are not anchored in the soil. That means roots are not firmly attached in the soil. That is why they are freely floating. Air spaces in stems and petiole are useful for floating in water. So, you can see the example of lotus stalk. Holes are there. It is filled with air and it helps for floating in water. Leaves are thin and slender like a ribbon. This shape helps them to withstand fast currents of water. So, the next, adaptations in desert plants. So, first we will deal with an experiment. Take two potted plants, one a cactus and other a leafy plant. Tie plastic bags loosely around the leaves of these plants and keep them in sunlight from morning. Observe them in the evening. So, the water collected in the bag of cactus will be less. Cactus is a desert plant. So, they will lose less water. So, let us see what are the adaptations in desert plants. So, desert plants are either leafless or the leaves are like needles or have been modified into thorns. So, the loss of water by evaporation is less. So, you can see in the picture the leaves are modified just like needles or it is into thorns. The stem is fleshy because it stores water and food. The stem is green in color so that it can perform photosynthesis. That means the green color of the stem contains chlorophyll, so it can prepare their own food. The thick layer of waxy coating on the stem prevents the loss of water by evaporation. So that is the advantage of this waxy coating on the stem. The root penetrates deep into the soil in search of water. The next is adaptation in plants of snowy region. Deodar and pine trees grow in snowy region. So in what ways are sloping branches useful to plants in a snowy region? So the trees are conical in shape. So you can see it is conical in shape. The conical shape prevents the snow from accumulating on the tree during heavy snowfall and extreme cold. The thick bark helps the tree to withstand cold. So these are the advantages of the conical shape. The next, adaptation of plants in forest regions. Trees, shrubs and herbs are found in forest. These plants compete themselves for sunlight. You know that plants need sunlight to perform photosynthesis. Trees grow tall to get sunlight. You can see here trees is growing tall to get sunlight. So what about the small plants, climbers and vine? So to get enough sunlight, climbers and vines grow to a great height with the support of trees using spring-like tendrils. So this you can see climbers and vine. Then adaptations in grassland plants. Forests in the equatorial region are dense. Diverse types of bushes and grasses are found in the grasslands. Tiger, lion, elephants and deer can remain hidden in these grasses. Grasses in cold regions are very short. So small animals like rabbits are found here. Vast meadows are found in hilly areas and plains. Adaptation for injection of food in plants. Most of the plants are autotrophic, produce its own food, and the roots are anchored in the soil. Autotrophic plants means which can prepare their own food by photosynthesis. Deodar plant or cuscuta plant is an example of parasitic plant. So parasitic plants means they lives on another organism and takes its nourishment from that organism. The plant body of deodar consists of yellow wire-like stems. You can see in the picture. It is leafless, so it cannot perform photosynthesis. That means they are parasitic. It has sucking roots. You can see in the picture sucking roots for absorption of nutrient from the host plant. These sucking roots penetrate into the conducting vessel of the host plant to absorb water and food. Another example is fungi. You have seen the picture, it is shown the bread mold. So fungi is also a parasite. It is not green in color, it cannot perform photosynthesis. We obtain food from starchy foodstuffs like bakri and bed. They have root-like fibers for the absorption of food. Plants which attract insects. Venus flytrap, Drosera and pitcher plant are examples. Plants need nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium for growth. So these plants grow in soil which is deficient in nitrogen. So they consume insects to fulfill their need for nitrogen. So they attract insects and hold them in captive. The first picture is Venus flytrap. So you can see you can trap insect here. Here also Drosera plant which can also trap insects, and pitcher plant, here it is a hole is there, here it will trap the insects.